recording.
Okay.
All right. Welcome everyone to Zoom call of week 2. We're excited to have you guys on. There are people on just via phone, so you can't see them. But we just want to keep these super short. We'll kind of have a question and answer and just evaluate what went well, what didn't, and you can pick our brain or whatever. We'll see if we can help. And then we'll also go through things we learned from our clients last week, common problems that they ran into to share some ideas. And then if we have our own personal experiences that we want to share, then we will. Okay, so we'll keep them short and simple. So let's start out by opening it up to you guys. You can put it in the chat thread or just take yourself off mute and say something. So question and answer to you guys, we'll take it to you for a bit. And there might be an awkward silence just to let you think about it and figure out if you want to ask anything. So it's your turn. Chelsea, are you trying to say something?
Is my noise on? I can't tell. Is my noise on?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Noise is on.
So what is natural, so how to tell if there's added sugars in it? So I feel like there's like canned beans and like my plain yogurt, like things like that, where it's like, how do I know if that sugar is added? So is that, what do I do for those?
Okay, you want to take that, Rennie?
Yeah, so plain yogurt, if it's truly plain, will have lactose in it, which is a sugar, but it's not an added sugar. So we're just counting added sugars right now. Anything, I don't know, like a granola bar. What was the other thing you said?
Like canned beans, yeah.
Check the ingredients, because beans are a starch, and so they might have carbohydrates in them. I haven't looked at the nutritional facts on beans for a long time. But check the ingredients. If it just says beans, you're fine.
Okay.
If it says beans and then sugar, not so fine. And we generally are trying to keep natural sugars to fruits. Like, don't count fruit, you guys, in the 25 grams. But like honey and dates, you might want to be careful with. And this is sort of where Kirtley and I are a little bit different. Like Kirtley does really well with dates and honey and maple sugar. I don't do so well. But I'm usually okay with being sweetened with like banana. And of course that's a fruit sugar, so we're not really counting it. And yeah, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Cool. But basically, if you can pick it from the ground, eat it, except for, honey's a little more processed, but not really. Depends on you. Well, it's not
the processing of honey. It's the density. So honey is not meant to be eaten, even when it was like in natural wild. It's just so dense, and our bodies aren't meant to process that much sweetness at one time. So if you put like a tablespoon of honey in a whole batch of cookies or something like that, it's not going to be that big a deal, right? But if we're having like a whole tablespoon of honey, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I want more with whatever, then just watch yourself. So
yeah, exactly. So that's all I look for is the ingredient list. And if they put like any form of sugar, and usually sugar ends with an ose or an like glucose, yeah, like that. And then that gives you a sign that that's probably sugar. So,
okay.
All right. Thank you so much for asking that, Chelsea. I'll put you back on mute. And then Lizzie says, I watched the sugar film and I feel like everything has sugar, which is good, but also I don't know if I can eat anything. So again, basically if it comes in a package, it probably has added sugar. And again, like as we're starting, like feel free to have 25 grams of sugar a day. If it's a little bit more, that's fine. It's just helping you become aware of what actually has sugar in it. Because it's those hidden sugars that really get you. I was so surprised that ketchup had sugar. And so basically I came to find out, well, if it doesn't come in a package, I'm probably good. And so my house doesn't have very many things that came in a package. If it does, then it just has a straight up ingredient, and so even when I get black beans, I try to have the only ingredient black beans and not even salt, which is hard to find, and so it just gets you looking at the ingredient list a lot better. And so like there are things like peanut butter or spaghetti sauce, or like Kirtley said, ketchup. You can find them without added sugars. It's just harder. It's not like it's like Heinz is a very recognizable brand, and we're not going to be able to find it in probably a Heinz unless it specifies Heinz, no sugar added. I think they do have Yeah, I'll grab mine actually right
now. So anyway, does that help you, Lizzie? I think it was Lizzie who asked that question.
Okay. Yes, she said. So this is the ketchup I found. I don't know if I found a completely sugar-free ketchup yet, but it is called reduced sugar, 75% less sugar than our regular ketchup. And so then I look in the ingredients. It's tomato concentrate from red ripe tomatoes, distilled vinegar, salt, natural flavorings, onion powder, sucralose, spice. So I love that sucralose is at the very bottom of the list, and you guys probably already know this, but the had saltless ketchup. Oh, that does sound kind of gross. Definitely sounds gross, having saltless ketchup. But the ingredient list, the first ingredient is the most of that ingredient. So it goes the most ingredient to the least amount ingredient. And so that's what I'm always looking for too, is that if it does have sugar, well, where is it in the order? You know, because if it's just like so tiny, then, you know, it's probably going to be okay. So there's that. Okay, so what other questions do you guys have? And Robin, you got on, we're doing question and answer right now. The worst thing I've ever tasted. Who has watched a documentary so far? What one did you watch, Chelsea?
Maybe.
What'd you say?
I think it was sugar coated.
Sugar coated. Oh, that's a good one. Awesome.
So. Great one.
Were you trying to say something, Robin? Nod your head if you were. Wave your hand if you were trying to say something, Robin. Okay, I'll unmute you. Okay, there you go.
I watched the sugar film.
Oh, cool. What'd you think?
I think I just was surprised at how much sugar was in everything.
Yeah. That's cool.
I mean, I don't really add sugar to anything, but this will really make me look at everything that I have no voice either. So if I sound kind of funny, I've lost my voice.
Just can't hear you very well, but we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Better?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I have no voice, and but anyway, I was just surprised that his health, how it changed.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that that's what sugar does.
Yeah. That's what I love. It's just awareness. Like, I'd rather be informed than not. And that's kind of what this whole process is, especially that first month, is just informing you, and it will affect your natural desires. Okay, that's funny what Erica said. Erica said she also started one, so that's great. It's a nightmarish.
Cindy, my mom who's doing it, has watched a documentary as well. So these are just awesome. I wanted to share, you guys, that like I'm not watching a documentary this week, but I'm doing my own learning. I found this book that is really interesting. So it's just like, I just love that we're learning. So.
Yeah. Yep. That's like the learning mindset that'll take you really far. You don't strive for perfection. Just strive to be willing to struggle and learn and get up and keep going. So I could care less about perfection. Oh my gosh, it can drive you crazy. Okay, any other questions you want to put in the feed? What are the main takeaways from the docs you have to rent? Docs you have to rent?
Documentaries.
The main takeaways, documentaries.
So like the main messages I would say is just a lot of people will try not eating sugar for a certain amount of time, and they report on it and they report their health benefits. Or people will go behind the scenes on the food industry and show how much sugar is in processed food, or they'll map out like the health benefits on multiple different people of, you know, what they experience when they go off of processed or, you know, sugary foods. So
yeah. It's cool. It made me just kind of go, ew. And when I could finally look at sugar and go, ew, then it made it a lot easier to just like look at it and shrug and look for something else.
Well, what's interesting is I actually don't remember what documentary this was that I watched, but there were several that I did watch where people took the challenge to go off of sugar and they experienced so many health benefits. And then like a year later, they followed up with them and they had reverted back to old habits. And if anyone can remember which documentary that was in, I would love that. But it was probably like 6 months ago that I watched this. And I just thought that was really interesting too, that you can experience major health benefits and then the power of old habits / just the power of sugar is hard to overcome. So it's an ongoing thing always.
Yeah. Yeah. And even me, I have ups and downs when I'm like extra craving sugar and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go through a few things that I talked about with my clients this week, and then anyone feel free to pitch in. Okay, I do want to share this, you guys. I have one client who did Optavia, lost a lot of weight, and then she was still struggling so much with sugar, and like she did the Sugar Leash and did incredibly well, but then she'd also like keep running into this wall over and over again, and she couldn't figure out. She went to her doctor, did a lot of tests, and he said that she had candida. And so she's been eating a really special diet for candida. That's basically like yeast inside your stomach, basically like yeast growing inside your stomach. And so she's been on a really strict diet, and she says, Curly, it's amazing. Like I feel so much better and my cravings totally are going away. And it's interesting, so much of your cravings depend on your food. But she also said, you can tell everyone that if they like keep running into this problem, that maybe they can check out to see if there's some underlying issue that's making it hard over and over and over and over again. You know, she was really frustrated. And so far that's been helping, and we're just going to monitor her and see how that goes, if that was really the solution. So just an idea there. Another one is a lot of it is environment, you guys. And so Lizzie's on, and she even posts about this, her company, Marco Polo'd me how much their company spends on sugar. And they have this whole kitchen worth of tons of sugar. Like she showed it to me, I couldn't believe it. And so like she can't get out of that environment. So what do you do? And what do you do if your spouse is like, hey, I want sugar, like leave me alone, I have to have sugar in the house, you know? Stuff like that. It's going to make it harder if there's sugar right in front of you, but you know, if that's your life, then we got to figure out some strategies. There's only one kitchen. There's another kitchen with soda and cereal too. That was only one kitchen. That's crazy. Okay, so what are some of your ideas, or does anyone else struggle with that right now as well? With their environment just makes it really tough. Robin, no. Not so much, Chelsea. Okay. All right, so some ideas that we thought of, a lot of this is just getting out of the box and experimenting. Just try something. It doesn't have to work, it's just experiment with it. My mother-in-law shows love through treats. That's really hard.
That's a really big thing. I think my mother experiences the same thing. She's been cooking for her whole family for her whole life, and that's how she shows love. And she will change what she cooks depending on the kid that comes over, because we all have specific, you know, some of us are gluten-free, some of us are, but it's really hard for her. And I think to not, first of all, she'll feel rejected and not loved. I'm speaking for my mom, and she's actually part of this group. She's not here right now, so excuse me, Mom. But I feel like that's a really difficult thing is if you are a mother, or you have a relationship with a mother who serves and provides love through treats and food. That's hard. I think that I was going to back up a little bit, Curtly. One of the big things for me with being around an environment is I bring my own food. Like, Lizzie, if you can bring your own food to work and just make sure you're never hungry or thirsty, and do whatever it takes to just never be hungry or thirsty, and always have your own food on hand, whether it's an apple, almond, Larabar, you know, whatever it takes. So
yeah, I totally agree, because I want sugar when I'm hungry and thirsty, and I figured that out by me wanting sugar over and over, and then finally asking, okay, why am I wanting sugar at this exact moment, and analyzing really quick. You have to get a paper and pen usually if you really want to think about your thoughts. It's harder for me to process if I'm just thinking, but if I carry around a little notebook, or even pop up my phone and just stop and lean on the wall and just figure out, well, why am I hungry? Why do I want sugar? Am I hungry or thirsty? Okay, am I emotional? And that's kind of usually the order that I go through. So totally true. The journey journal has been super helpful. Yes. Okay. So Lizzie and I talked about getting a journey journal. So that could be as simple as this, is where every single day, if you guys are serious about learning, you have to analyze yourself. You will not progress if you're not analyzing yourself, because you're different than me and Rennie. And so that's just opening a book and just exploring, like, what comes to mind. What are you learning about yourself? My mother-in-law's environment has a very abundant supply of sugar. It's hard to visit knowing she'll have everything. Yeah, it is, Erica. Especially for me, if like when I'm around a ton of sugar, like what happened conference weekend, it sometimes is fun, like, oh, I feel like a little child again, because I don't keep it in my house. And so it's fun to know I can have some, you know, since it's like a rarity. And then that's when I go through the fallacies, you know, and you have to figure out what you really want. Because eating sugar once in a while, for me, I'll do it. I don't care. But you have to know how it affects you. If you're having a little bit and you go crazy, you know. And then that's the part of, like what Rennie said, make sure you don't go hungry. Make sure you're never hungry while you're there or thirsty. And then the more you can just not care about sugar, the better. Like kind of what we shared, I listened to the Life Coach podcast by Brooke Castillo. I recommend everyone be listening to this. I told it to Lizzie the other day. But she just thinks, okay, put yourself in the shoes of someone who really doesn't care about sugar. It's never been a problem. How do they think? What's their thought process? Do you think when they show up to work or their mother-in-laws are like, don't eat sugar, don't eat sugar, don't eat sugar? Nope, they're not even thinking about it. And so because they don't care. And so if you can work on getting to that place of not being so attached to sugar, not being so scared by doing what you can. I brought my own food, I brought my own water, I'm going to be fine. And even looking at the sugar and just like, you can even go like this. And so it's like, I don't care. And so your physical movements are going to start to affect your thoughts. And that's what helped a ton for me. And just checking myself with food fallacies, knowing my goals as it's free. I should have it though. Well, really? It's a rare occasion. Well, really? You know, I want to go that way. So obstacle thoughts. Yeah, I love that, Lizzie. So I just listened to that again today. One of the Brooke Castillo podcasts. Okay, any follow-up on environment? Is environment's really tough for you guys? What's her face? Bethany Mon, her husband really wants to keep sugar in the house. So she kind of compromised by getting rid of some of like just the gross stuff that you don't really need, having some for her husband. And you can even think about treats that you don't even like and keeping them there on hand for your spouse. So kind of interesting there.
Like gummy worms? I can't stand gummy worms. I could have no problems ignoring those.
That's so funny. You know, come to think about it, I kind of love every sugar in every form.
Oh, really?
So, not sure what I would do there, because I know a lot of my clients are like, I definitely don't like this, and then they have it, and that's a lot easier for them. So
another thing that I've learned with substitutions and sugar is like I've learned to appreciate, like I make a paleo chocolate cake for a lot of birthdays and like Thanksgiving, and that tastes so much better to me than like a Betty Crocker chocolate cake, for instance. So it's like, yes, it takes a lot more work and it costs more money to make that, but when I eat it, I enjoy it so much more, partially because it's made from scratch and I made it and it has high quality ingredients, but also because it doesn't make me feel as you know, like loopy as like a Betty Crocker, you know, cake. Not that those aren't good too. They both taste good, but it's like that hardiness. It's that warm, earthy, like dense, rich chocolate cake versus like the light, fluffy, just really sugary. So anyway.
Yeah, totally agree. Okay, so just wanted to ask, how are your fast and easy meals that you're making coming along? Are you able to make enough for yourself, and are they convenient enough, or do you need more ideas? Okay, and so you can put it in the comments or whatever if you're struggling there. Okay, so I want to share my own what happened this weekend with conference. My whole family was with each other doing like watching. Okay, Erica says she needs more food ideas. Okay, I will talk to you about more food ideas, Erica. Watching like this church program for like all weekend, and a common tradition is food. And so what happens to me is I've come to a point where I hate being full and I hate not feeling well. And that was a gradual approach, you guys. Like I had the idea, just never get full. And then I was like, oh, once in a while it sounds fun. And then I'm at the point where I don't ever want to get full where I don't feel good anymore. And that really helps me when I eat. And so I did have some sugar, but I really just hate the feeling of, oh, sugar, putting it down, you know, until like you suddenly don't feel good and you didn't realize you got there. And so what my goals are is, hey, I don't want to get stuffed. And if I put something in my mouth, I want to enjoy it. And so forcing yourself, if you do choose sugar, to let it sit in your mouth for a long time, and just don't absent-mindedly eat sugar. That alone will totally change your game and feel like you have more control because you're just mindfully eating. And so I had some stuff, and sometimes like I ate it a little bit faster than looking back, I could have done it slower. But just like if I have something in my mouth, just savoring it and enjoying it, and that will make me crave it less. Okay. And so that really helped me. And I also brought my own food to the weekend. And so I made like a huge Instant Pot of Madras lentils with rice. And so when I was hungry, instead of having their waffles that they had, which weren't very healthy, then I could have my own lentils and be full that way. And I had my own fruit and vegetables. And so I was able to fuel myself well the whole time. So I felt amazing the whole time, which is totally cool and totally worth it for me with where I'm at. So any situations for you, Rennie, that you can think of that you want to share?
Yeah, so I've actually been snacking so much more on, first of all, like having support like this, even though I'm technically like leading this, because I'm leading this, I'm just so much more aware than I am in normal life to make that a goal and a habit. And I've been using hummus and vegetables as my snacks lately. And like even at night, like sometimes at night when my husband and I sit down to like watch a TV show or something, you know, you get munchy, and I've just switched my snacks out. I've totally substituted it. And I have to be honest, I'm not a big like raw veggie person. Like I love salads, I love cooked veggies, but like even like raw carrots, I'm not a big raw veggie person. But if I dip it in hummus, then I feel so much better. And that's been my strategy all week. And it's really, really, really helped. So I feel like substitutions are key for me, at least, in avoiding sugar. So
yeah, same. We do popcorn for movies, and it's raw popcorn. Like you just put it in a brown paper bag, just roll it over, and you can even put tape, and then put it in the microwave, and then we eat it just like that. No salt, no flavoring, kind of because we're lazy, but I don't need more salt in my diet. And so we're used to raw, no flavor popcorn. And what's cool is your taste buds start to change. And so Josh has really worked on eating less salt, and now like he eats anything and it all tastes amazing. You know, it doesn't matter if it's high flavor or not. He's just used to that. So there's a huge, like it's a big deal with retraining your taste buds. Give yourself about 2 weeks of retraining and you're going to see a difference. Okay, just kind of as the final thought for you guys, I did talk to a girl that said, I am starving since I started this, and I'm eating the same way I was when I was before. And I said, girlfriend, what's the underlying thing? Because oftentimes when you have emotions that are caught inside and they're used to manifesting through sugar, and if you're not eating sugar, then you're going to feel this starving and just unsettled because your emotions aren't getting Band-Aids anymore. And so I just encourage her, look deeper. Like, don't just follow this program and check off all the check boxes. You have to look deeper and just take some time with yourself and say, what is going on currently? And close your eyes and just wait to listen. Because I'll tell you guys, your bodies will give you answers. And if it's not like immediate, it's not this big thing, but it's just kind of thoughts of, well, what's going on here? And oftentimes we're just used to running away from emotions. And if emotions aren't manifested, then they're going to come out in weird ways that kind of mess with us. And so take time to take care of your emotions, okay? And so one way that I was taught of dealing with problems, and I talked about this with my clients, and I learned this through Brooke Castillo, is if you have a problem, write down what your problem is, write down what you think the cause is, write down what you think you can do to fix it, and what you think you can do to solve it, and then try it. So the difference between fixing and solving is fixing is like putting a Band-Aid on it, but it's not really getting to the problem. And so if you solve it, then the problem's going to be gone forever because you know what the deeper cause is, okay? And so if something's just you're having a hard time over and over again, then maybe something's going on emotionally that you're just not looking at. And even talking, like having a therapist or talking about it with your health coach, or just like taking time on your journey journal to just like rip it apart will help you feel a little bit better. But that's what seemed to be the problem with her is, hey, I'm starving now. And I had a client like that too, is I can't do this because I'm so stressed out and I'm used to going to food. And hey, if you have to do that in the beginning, we're going to work on doing it a little bit less and a little bit less as we explore different ways to work on your emotions. So just a thought there, you guys, because I know that's whenever I'm like not feeling the right peaceful way, it's often because I don't know what's going on emotionally. And so I just kind of rewind time, like, okay, what happened? What do you think's going on? And then poof, I feel peace once I've like even like identified it. So, okay. So I just want to make sure everyone has access to the book and the workbook, and ideally you can print them out. Let us know if you're not able to do that. I didn't have a printer for a long time, so I just sent it to a local coffee shop. And that makes it a lot easier. Hopefully you have your trigger sheet. The workbook has a trigger sheet, and that's what you can be using every day to really identify when you're having these triggers and where they're coming from. I heard from one person they're not getting the emails, so we're working on that. Let us know if you're not getting the emails either. And the biggest thing, you guys, have you connected with Rennie or me? So make sure you reach out to Rennie or me on Marco Polo. It doesn't matter who, so that you can get your coaching. And if you have any questions or are confused about it, just shoot us a message or post in Sugar Tech Down. So, okay, anything else, Rennie?
No, I think that's good. I just want to thank everybody for being here and everyone who watches the replay. And this is really helping us out. And again, with the emails, I'm working with the support system on our email platform, and they're off of work today. So I will be calling them first thing tomorrow. We've been messaging back and forth quite a bit to kind of figure out. There's so many little moving parts to it that I'm still figuring that out. So hopefully we'll have that all cleared up by tomorrow. That being said, you guys, the emails are all in the back end of the office, or in our member site. So if you go to week 1, if you go to month 1, week 1, you'll see it all there, and you can catch up. You can see where we're at. We're technically on week 2, but your emails might be a little tiny bit behind, and I apologize for that. But you have access to all the information you Anyway,
Rennie?
yeah, we are good, everyone. Let us know. Don't hesitate to reach out through the Facebook group, message us, post your questions, and please, 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 if you haven't reached out to me or Kurtley through Marco Polo, reach out as soon as possible. All right, and everyone, have a happy week.
Bye. Love you guys. See you later.
Bye.